Hi y'all, Kendall Carpenter, Bunnyfoot Pottery in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm coming to you today with my 5th kiln unload, and it's a combination of mugs and bowls and some little gnomes. I was at Ruby Clay a couple of days ago to pick up my latest pieces, and they allowed me to go back in their production area and actually film Maddie pulling my pieces out of her kiln. So I'll tack that on at the very end. This first mug that I want to show you turned out really beautifully. I hand painted 2 types of flowers on there using kiwi underglazes. You may recall from my first video that I got all 50 and they've been so fun to play with. And of course I watched Von Smith's videos on how he sponges the background and then paints blades of grass and flowers, and that's what I was trying to get at here. This is actually Mako milk glass, 3 times brushed on the inside and on the textured handle and also on the base. And it's got a little blue cast to it. It sort of looks like Mako micro pearl to me without the crystals. And I did 2 coats of Speedball clear over the paintings. And I'm very happy with that. The next thing I'm going to show you, and I have to give a shout out to Linda at Lindy Lou Pottery. She did the most beautiful bowl. It's been at least a month ago, maybe longer, maybe 2 months ago. She did a beautiful bowl that was Albany slip brown on the outside and 4 different glazes on the inside. And she typed out, shared her combo with me. And I just had this little tester bowl. So anyway, it is Albany slip brown on the outside. And then on the inside, it is ancient jasper, 2 times, textured turquoise, Albany slip brown, iron luster, and 2 coats of micro pearl over all of it. Anyway, it turned out really cute in a miniature form to her big bowl. Anyway, thank you, Linda, for sharing that combination. I have an herb stripper that I did, and this one was just a simple bowl using various sizes of holes that I pierced through. And for the first time, I used Spectrum Texture Autumn. I didn't really know what to expect. It's very pretty. It's a dark brown color. And then on the outside, I've used Spectrum Texture Dark Cloud. And I did see Lucy at West 2 Pottery from Wales used that recently on a dinner set, a soup and sandwich plate combination. I already had this glaze, but I hadn't tried it yet. So Lucy, thank you for showing your dinner plate and reminding me that I had that glaze. And I could use it too on this little herb stripper. I have 3 little tester bowls to show you. This little beauty is 3 times Mako milk glass brushed in and out. And then I had a little jar of Mako Foundation Strawberry, and I painted some petals. And I was going to do a black outline on the little flower, but Amazon let me down and didn't deliver the black underglaze fine point pen that I had ordered yet. So I thought, well, I wonder what Pazzler Gold would look like on that. And I did add 4 coats of Pazzler Gold around there. It washed out though, it just looks brown. And then I remembered Pazzler Gold does not like to be on top of other glazes. It's still very pretty, but it's not the shiny metallic. And then this little bowl is Jungle Gym peacock eyes on the outside. And on the inside, it's 2 coats of Spectrum floating turquoise. So I was curious what this Jungle Gym would do at cone 6. And it's pretty. It doesn't look like it would look, you know, at low fire temps, but it's pretty. And I do need to take a minute to say that everything I'm showing you today is on a buff clay, a mid-range buff clay from Mammoth Clay Company in Oklahoma City. My other little tester bowl, it actually looks really similar to the one I just showed you. This one, I used Jungle Gym Fruity Freckles on the outside. And on the inside is 2 coats of Mako Norse Blue. So just little testers. You know, Sarah at 3 Little Potters, she has all of her little testers, so I'm joining that club. Then, I have a silly little spoon rest to show you. You know, it's not one I would ever sell to anybody. But what's interesting about this, quite a while back, one of the potters that I watch on YouTube is Healing Earth Ceramics, and he's in the next state over in Arkansas. And on the video I was watching, he was talking about how he saves the water from when he rinses his glaze brushes, and then he uses it on the inside of vases or whatever. And I thought, well, I'm just going to start saving that. So I pour out most of my glaze brush water, and then it's kind of thick on the bottom, and I have a little quart container, and I've been diligently saving it. And I thought, well, I've got enough in there that I need to see if this is worthwhile. And I do remember him saying that it usually turns out blue. And in fact, you can see, hopefully you can see a little bit of blue on the side. The top looks blue-green, but I also have saved little glaze chips. When I open a new glaze, I let that protective film dry, and then I crumble that into a little dish. So this is my little wonky spoon rest with the leftover glazed water and an assorted glazed chips. So now I'm going to switch gears and show you some cute little gnomes. Look at this little gnome I made. It's going to go to my 3-year-old grandson who's really into ghosts right now. This little ghost gnome just has 3 coats of Jungle Gym ink spot on it. And I don't know if you can see, but he's telling you boo. And this little gnome is awfully cute. He's probably going to become the top of a wine stopper. And I did use that Spectrum Dark Cloud on him, and he's also got Albany Slip Brown there. He's really cute. And I'm going to show you this cute little gnome. I had so much fun. I gave him a little tree with a birdie in it. And this is Mako Desert Dusk and Albany Slip Brown on the tree, and some kind of stroke and coat on the bird. Anyway, I think he's adorable. I may probably keep that for my own collection. And then I have to say thank you to Diana with Walkie Pots. She had a tutorial on owls, which I thought was just really interesting. I thought, well, instead of turning my leftover handles into gnomes, I would try owls. So here's 2 little owls. This one is just covered in milk glass. And this one is Albany Slip Brown and milk glass. They're just cute little owls to keep my gnomes company. And then this is a little bit bigger. He's an owl gnome, and he has Mako milk glass on his hat and Albany Slip Brown. So he's a brown owl, an owl gnome. I love my little gnomes. And so now I am going to show you the few mugs that I made last week. The first one that I made has a beautiful heart sprig on it, and that is covered in 3 coats of milk glass. So, you know me, I love my Shino glazes, but this is the one piece that came out of this fire ring that had some pinholes. It's just 2 coats of Spectrum Cherry Shino, which I've used a number of times, and for some reason it's made some little pinholes in there. Then the outside is really this really pretty pink color, and that is also Spectrum, and it's their Ahi, H-A-I, Ahi Shino. Then in the handle, I stamped the words Boat Love. So it's a nice little espresso mug. I'll fix up those pinholes. My next mug, the largest one of the bunch, I think turned out really pretty. I made a twisted handle, which was sort of risky, but I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So I've got 3 snowflakes on this mug, and the inside I poured Mako Gray Opal, and on the outside, from the rim down, is an opulence glaze, a satin glaze called Winter Day. I thought that was very appropriate. And I also put in white back Winter Day from these snowflakes. And then the rim is Mako Micro Pearl and Mako Micro Pearl on the snowflakes. So I'm pretty happy with that. And oh gosh, I bet that holds 16 ounces of coffee at least. It's pretty big. My next mug, another little one, more an espresso mug. I'm not unhappy with it, but if I were doing it over, I would add a little more glaze. So on the inside of this mug is Spectrum Spanish Moss poured, and then I brought that Spanish moss up just over the lip of the rim. And then I put 3 coats of Mako Satin Patina on the lower part. That's one of my favorite glazes. And I chose to use Mako Shipwreck to join them together. And I only did 2 coats. I'm not sure why. I should have done 3. It's okay, but it would be better with 3. And then I believe I put Light Flux right under the rim. And I put the name of my studio, Bunnyfoot, in the handle. It's cute. Somebody will like it. Here is a very pretty mug. And I have to say thank you to Audrey Berm. She recently did a video where she concentrated on using copper float. And gosh, every single one of those combinations was beautiful. But I wanted to make a mug that will go to a lady. I know it's going to go to a lady. So what I did is I used her combination with lavender mist, Mako lavender mist. So that was poured on the inside. And then I brought it around to the outside, 3 coats. And then I used 3 coats of Mako Copper Float. And then I came back from the rim down to just below the Copper Float, and I added 2 coats of Mako Desert Dusk. And I also, just here under the rim and above this little ridge here, I put a coat of oatmeal. This really, really is pretty. I added some texture in the handle, and that came through with all of that glaze on it. So it's very, very pretty. And I did one more hand-painted item in this load. It's a vase, a little squatty vase. I put a flower in the center of the bottom of it, and the inside is poured Mako ivy, which we know runs, but it's okay on the inside. Then on the outside, for about a ½ inch, I did 2 coats of Norse blue, and I also did 2 coats of Norse blue at the bottom. And then the hand painted was similar to the first mug I showed you. I sponged a number of different colors of green and blue, and then I hand painted 2 different kinds of flowers. And I was thinking about just putting clear over the painted flowers, but I decided instead to see what Celadon Bloom would do. So it's 1 coat of Mako Celadon Bloom all over the outside. It sort of muddied up the flowers, but honestly, I really like it. I really like it a lot. So I'm experimenting with these kiwi underglazes, and I haven't had a failure yet. So that's positive. Okay, I have 2 more things to show you. that are mugs. And this was my attempt at the cordovan and birch combo, which of course many people are doing. The uncessed, I think, have the most success with it. And in my case, in this one, I actually poured muddy waters on the inside. That's another glaze that Kim Unseth really likes, and I do too. And then on the outside, the cordovan started at the top and came about 2/3 of the way down. 2 coats. And then there were 2 coats of birch all over, all the way down to the bottom. The handle, textured handle, also turned out very pretty with that. And just sort of following what everybody else does, I did 2 coats of Mako Light Flux in swoops. So I'm getting some blues there, maybe not as much as other people, but it's really pretty. And that combo looks beautiful with muddy waters, very complimentary. And my final mug to show you is sort of an homage to Lisa Finkel. And gosh, I wish she would put it on another video. It's been a while. But I know that she loves olive float, just like I do. And she likes to pair a really pretty green and a really pretty blue. And I believe she uses studio glazes, but she has said you can use anything that's green and blue. So of course I did. And I used Spectrum Floating Cactus on the inside, poured, and then brought that just over the rim. And then the rest of this upper part is Spectrum Floating Turquoise. And I used, again, my Spectrum Textured Dark Cloud. That's on the lower part. And then overlapping both of those sections is 2 coats of Mako Olive Float. I have a little bit of my texture. You can still see it a little bit in the handle. It's a very comfortable mug. It's beautiful, and I'm very pleased with it. So y'all, this is this week's Kiln Unload for me, my kiln reveal. And if you would like to stay on the video for another couple of minutes, I'm going to show you the lovely Maddie from Ruby Clay. And it was really exciting for me to actually see my pieces come out of a kiln, because I usually just go to the front desk and they give me my pieces. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your attention. I really appreciate it. I think I'm up to 48 subscribers, which is wonderful. I hope that you like and decide to subscribe. It's easy to do. It doesn't cost anything. Just hit the bell. And if you will write a comment, I promise I will write you back. That's a big part of why I'm doing this. I'm home alone in a home studio, and it's just so fun to have other people to interact with. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, I am at Ruby Clay. This is Maddie, the kiln, the queen, and she is unloading some of my pieces. One's fun. Yeah, I had several. Oh, that was an herb stripper. There's my famous box. Yes. Did the Passler Gold turn out okay on that one? It doesn't really like to be over other glaze, and so it's not quite as metallic. Warm, yeah. It's still pretty though. Yeah. Let's see this out. There's a mug. Okay. Mug. Very nice. Can't wait to inspect those. Oh, wow. Yeah. Love that. Is that my owl gnome? Oh, little gnomies. Owls. Owls and gnomes. Box is filling up. Oh, wow. Ooh, my, I've never done one quite like that.
Yeah, that turned out pretty.
Yeah. So fun to look at everything up close. Oh my God.